Welcome all to Nightly News. I'm Cole Neely and we have a lot of exciting information to cover. We begin tonight with the Religious Council student organization, Young Life. On April 5th, the group was informed that it received a 2-year suspension from campus. According to the Office of Spiritual Life, the group was meeting off campus and not following COVID guidelines set by the university and that they agreed to as an organization. An email obtained from the Office of Spiritual Life outlines the situation and the punishment. Young Life and its campus ministers were found guilty of campus misconduct and as a consequence are not allowed to operate on campus for 2 years.
In the fall of the semester, when we were addressing COVID protocols, at that point, all student life groups were, asked to withhold from having group activities on campus or off campus. And effectively, what got Young Life into trouble in terms of student conduct was the fact that they continued to do that and promoted their group events both on campus and out in the Greenville community.
We were called, all the Young Life leaders on Furman's campus were called to a meeting to talk, and they asked us questions about if Young Life persuaded us to lead, even though Furman had decided that Furman leaders couldn't lead the semester because of COVID policies. So we don't really know any specific reason why it got kicked off, if there was an example or a specific incident. They just kind of told us that the organization had violated student org policies.
In addition to the suspension, 3 Young Life ministers were let go. In the fall of 2023, the group can begin the conversation to be let back on campus. Let's take a quick look at the COVID numbers and see how we're doing around campus. With 20% of campus being tested and over 300 tests being administered, the university reported 6 positive tests and a 0.17% positivity rate. Are you looking forward to having a hot girl or hot boy summer but want to avoid COVID? Well, Furman University will be offering the Pfizer vaccine between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. this Saturday at the Younts Conference Center. Get your shot so everyone can have a fun summer as we get closer to normal. Furman University is known as one of the most beautiful colleges in the country. But believe it or not, it is not the easiest campus to navigate. Here's Mike DeRosa with the story.
Furman University's address, 3300 Poinsett Highway, leads students, staff, and visitors to the front gate of a beautiful site. Unfortunately, this is the only place visitors get sent when they use a navigation system to get on campus. I decided to interview fellow student, Furman Police intern, Luke Alcock to get his view on the matter.
Yeah, so I think it's been a problem for a while, and recently it's changed a little bit where there are some more street names now. Those street names are still only really well known by FUPO officers, Furman police officers. It's still hard to find them on Google Maps, or a lot of times they're just not there yet.
In the case of a serious emergency, Luke mentioned how the university gets medical help or county police to the right place.
There might be a street name that FUPO knows, but there's no really good way for an EMT driver to get there. So when there are emergencies in particular, it's usually relied on that a FUPO officer can meet an ambulance at the gate and drive them directly to the incident.
To see how this issue has been addressed, I spoke to the Chief of the Furman Police, Officer John Milby.
Furman University has had one physical address, and that's 3300 Poinsett Highway. Probably about 2 years ago, 3 years ago maybe, we recognized that this was a serious potential problem for emergency response. And so what we did, I think in 2019, it might have been 2018, I'd have to go back and look, but between 2018 and 2019, it was actually a pretty lengthy project. We worked with the Greenville County Office of E911, and we now have a physical address in 911 for each building.
After finding out that Furman has a physical address for 911 emergencies, I asked Officer Milby about food delivery and Uber services that have difficulty navigating campus.
I don't know what the process or timeline is for that to make its way into Apple Maps or Google Maps or other, navigation systems that people commonly use. Probably the next step is looking at what it takes for us to get all of our streets and addresses recognized by those common navigation systems.
Officer Milby also mentioned that the university would prefer to keep mail station in P2X instead of items being directly shipped to campus buildings. So while it may take some time for Uber drivers to find the right place, it is great to hear that first responders know where to go. This is Mike DeRosa reporting from the Furman Nightly News.
Thanks, Mike. I don't see food delivery being a problem anymore thanks to Brooke, the Maniac, and To Go Bros. This past Monday was the final round of the Paladin Pitch competition, hosted by the Furman Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center. The 5 finalists gave their business idea pitches to 2 judges. The top prize was $10,000, but thanks to donors, all participants received $500. Congratulations to sophomore Brooke, the Maniac, and her app To Go Bros on her victory. Tuesday was the 13th annual Furman Engage, but things looked a little different this year. Several presentations were online and held through Zoom. In case you missed it, here's Nightly News reporter Hadley Robbins with a recap of the day.
Thanks, Cole. Despite the fact that Furman Engage was primarily online this year, 678 students presented. Students presented on topics such as their internships, research, or showed their works of art such as videos, sculptures, or paintings.
The day started off with a welcome session at 8:45, and soon after at 9 o'clock presentations began, such as senior art presentations, chemistry research, math research, and more.
My name is Rory Vanderplow, and I'm a junior biology major at Furman. And last summer, I did research with Dr. Rawlings in the biology department. And this year at Furman Engaged, I presented on the role of stats transcription factors in chromatin condensation in immunology.
On top of the many students who presented research at Furman Engaged this year, other students shared their experience of having an internship.
Hi, my name is Ann Heaton Sanders, and I'm a junior studio art and communication studies double major. And I presented at Furman Engaged this year on my research with the Baumgartner Archives. This summer, I helped with branding and building the website for the archives.
Furman Engaged also gave students the opportunity to showcase art projects they have been working on, whether it was a piece of art for the gallery walk in the art department or a video from their digital storytelling class.
My name is Nicole, and being a young earth leader makes me happy.
My name is Kane Bryan, and music makes me happy.
As you can see, Furman students worked hard to make this year's Furman Engaged as normal and successful as possible, despite the fact that we are in the midst of a pandemic.
Thanks, Hadley. All of this goes to show the many amazing things we can do with today's technology shows us the Furman advantage. Only a few weeks left to get your COPs in. Here's what we have this week. On Monday at 6:30 p.m., the authors of Policing Black Bodies will be joining Furman to discuss their book. On Wednesday at 5 p.m., there is another COP opportunity involving an informative discussion on how the power of computing can be harnessed to enhance the application of medicine and treatment of disease. And lastly, the theater department will be performing sonnets every evening at 7:30 in a performance titled Love's Fine Wit. This week, our Tatiana Watts featured a premier paladin, Miles Baker, who was a part of the band Kings.
What you're hearing are the Kings, KNGS, a indie rock band located here in the upstate of South Carolina. And it features one of our very own paladins, Miles Baker, a freshman here at Furman.
I actually met the band leader, my friend Jacob Kaiser, at the Fine Arts Center here in Greenville playing jazz together, and he was already in a band, and so I kind of just joined it. But we've been together about 2.5, 3 years now.
Miles hoped that the Kings will book gigs throughout the summer, in the upstate, and throughout the southeast. You can follow them at The Kings Official on Instagram and stream all of their music on all music streaming services. I'm Tatiana Watts. Back to you, Cole.
Thanks, Tatiana. I look forward to checking out their music very soon. Looking for springtime medley? You are in luck because the Bell Tower Boys are hosting their spring concert on Thursday, April 15th at 7:45 p.m. at Hartness Pavilion. But if you would like to join the a cappella group, they are also holding auditions next week on April 22nd at 7:30 in Daniel Music Building. So get your runs and your riffs in line to try out. FUSAB is sure ending off the semester with a bang. Thursday, April 15th, come out to E-Field at 6 to 7:30 p.m. for a live comedian. Former America's Got Talent contestant Adam Grabowski will be there. Over the weekend, join them for a drive-in movie on Sunday. And finally, next Thursday, April 21st, enjoy complimentary acai bowls on the mall from 11 to 1 p.m. and the much anticipated concert starting at 6. You might have seen some colorful dust clouds around the lake on Sunday, but it wasn't some crazy weather thing. Jackie Faustin tells us what FUSAB was up to.
That's right. Last Sunday, over 50 students participated in FUSAB's first ever color run. Contestants were split up into 3 different heats and competed in the 1.5-mile trek around the lake, getting sprayed with colors along the way. The top 2 winners in each heat won Lululemon swag. Not only did the color run bring bright colors onto campus, it also brought the sun. It's awesome to see that campus is racing back to some sort of normalcy.
Speaking of running, our Furman athletes are running up on the end of this crazy season. Jaria Alden joins us now for a look at how the seasons are shaping up.
That's right, Cole. We have a lot to get to. But first, we have some breaking news. After 3 years of playing for Furman, senior Noah Gurley is becoming a grad transfer and heading to Alabama. Zach Klink has the story.
Furman basketball standout Noah Gurley recently announced that he is transferring to Alabama. After dedicating 3 seasons to Furman, Gurley will become a grad transfer as he continues his academic and basketball career in Tuscaloosa. I spoke with Noah to discuss this recent announcement, his time at Furman, and what his future may look like at his new home.
Just the opportunity ahead, just to, continue developing as a person and a player. So that's really what it was, just opportunity. I mean, in terms of the process is pretty easy. You just you put your name in the portal with your name and phone number, and then the coaches just start calling you from there.
I asked Noah what it was like to be so heavily recruited as he was these past few weeks, and what ultimately led him rejecting certain offers and going to Alabama.
Yeah, that was definitely crazy. That was like being in a game or something, just hearing from a lot of big names across the country. So it's just crazy. I'm thankful for that.
Alabama just so happened to be able to offer Noah what he wants on the court and in the classroom.
They fit the academic situation was the best. First off, so because I have 2 years of eligibility, so I have an opportunity to get 2 masters if I wanted to. I know the coach because we played against him a couple times, Coach Oates, and I know people that played for him. And then I just like the way Alabama plays.
Lastly, I asked Noah to describe his time at Furman.
I'm very grateful for my time at Furman. It was fun. It was a learning experience, and I grew and I met a lot of people that I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life. So I'm always thankful for that.
And we give a big thank you to Noah for his time as a classmate and a player at Furman. And we certainly wish Noah the best as he continues his college career at Alabama. Now, let's get to some highlights. We begin with women's soccer.
For these last handful of minutes.
This play is pure teamwork.
Furman
Gutierrez passes it to Gaither. Gaither passes it back for a give and go, but Gutierrez says, "Here, Anderson, you take the shot." Easy goal for the Dens. As the Chattanooga player throws the ball in, the Paladin players play keep away, headbutting and kicking it out. Here goes some more header action. I see the ladies were keeping their head in the game. A smooth move by Gaither to shake the defender that sets up a good opportunity with the cross pass. Nice look, but they couldn't finish. Lady Dens still got the win 1-0 and are heading back to the championship today at 3 p.m. Good luck, ladies. The Belmont player throws the ball in and is headbutted by several Paladin players before it falls to the ground. Man, that gave me a concussion watching. The Belmont player dribbles the ball down the field and his legs get swept from underneath him by a Paladin player. Either that really hurt or that's just great acting. Looks like a mosh pit near the Paladin goal, and one of the Belmont players sneaked the ball in against Ben Hale. One of Belmont's players steals the ball away from a Paladin, then dribbles the ball towards the goal, makes one guy miss, and gives the assist to his teammate to score again. Tough scene. The men's soccer team falls to Belmont 3-1 to knock them out of the SoCon tournament. Furman men's soccer may have lost in the SoCon tournament last weekend, but they have so much to be proud of. Kaylee Coleman has the story.
Though Furman men's soccer season may be over, they look back proud of a successful season, especially overcoming so much adversity through COVID, injuries, and playing in a different season.
think that, it's something that everyone else was dealing with, and I think that we dealt with it very well. I think that everyone kind of knew their roles and could step in at any moment, and I think that's was dealt with perfectly by the team and by the coaching staff.
A player who led the team is Ben Hale, who received Goalkeeper and Player of the Year in the SoCon.
He has been such an incredible influence on me, an incredible influence on the team. He helps me be the player that I am today, helps everyone be the player they are today, just through his professionalism and in the training ground, in the games. If there's a second where I'm slacking or someone else is slacking, then all it takes is one scream from Ben Hale to get you back on track.
Ben is not the only captain to receive an award. Cole himself has been ranked number 77 in the men's national top 100.
The ranking means a lot to me. I think that I've had to battle a decent bit of adversity since I've been here. And so to be recognized by top drawer and my peers and in the footballing community, I think it means a lot to me. And I think it's just a start. I know that I'm graduating this year, but I want to take that. I want to piggyback it into the next steps in my career. And I think that, again, it's the bar, and now you just have to push on past it.
And adding on to the team's awards, 2 freshmen ranked in the freshman top 100, Jake Rain at 21 and Sam Miller at 72. And many other players were also recognized on all conference teams.
I think it's incredible the amount of honors and SoCon honors that we've received this year as a team. I think it's something that's unheard of as well. And I think it speaks a lot because we do have such a young team, and for those guys to be acknowledged, I'd be scared if I were the rest of the SoCon right now, because the team that just swept that and played so well this year, such inspiring football, they have 2, 3, 4 more years together.
And there is no limit to this team's success and skill. We can't wait to see what they do and how far they go next year.
With so many awards as a young team, the potential for the men's soccer is limitless. With the great week of action, let's look at a score recap, starting with women's tennis downing the Mercer Bears 7-0. Women's lacrosse winning a 16-14 thriller against Kennesaw State. Softball has a doubleheader against Sanford and goes 1-1 with a 6-11 loss, then a 5-3 win. Football ends its season on a sour note, losing to Citadel 26-7. Women's lacrosse continuing to be great with the victory over the Mercer Bears. Softball takes on Sanford the next day and loses 1-4. Tommy's Country Ham House has been the nourishment for numerous Furman athletes since its opening in 1985. It has become a loved restaurant in all of Greenville. Notably, the football team travels every Friday to eat there.
There's no better place than Tommy's. His whole staff feels like a family, and I've just loved coming there for breakfast so much.
Tommy's has been such a great part of Furman women's golf, especially. He's always been out there for our tailgates, always been out there for our games. Love Tommy's, I'm going to miss him so much.
Tommy supports Furman, so Paladins, let's try to support Tommy's by grabbing some food before he closes the restaurant this May. It's been a great year so far, and we have another week of games to be played. Women's lacrosse will be playing tonight against Jacksonville at 6 p.m. On Saturday, women's tennis will play ETSU at 11 a.m. On Sunday, women's lacrosse plays at 12 p.m. against Stetson, while men's tennis takes on South Carolina State at 1 p.m. On Tuesday, April 20th, softball has a doubleheader at 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. against College of Charleston. Good luck to everyone, and don't forget to go support your Dens. Cole, back to you.
Thank you, Jaria. Hopefully, I'll see you at the women's lacrosse game this Friday. Last week, FUSAP hosted a coffee house on Trone Patio. Students were able to come and relax, grab a latte or a macchiato, and listen to student musicians. What a great way to end the day and watch the sunset over our beautiful lake. Also, a big announcement just came in. FUSAP has announced that the concert performer for April 21st, and it is Young Gravy. Be on the lookout for information on getting tickets by looking out at the FUSAP Instagram page. Speaking of beautiful, that's how we leave this week, with shots of our beautiful campus. We're off next week, but join us the last week in April for a special edition of Nightly News. Have a good weekend, everyone. Stay blessed.